We now have a common council meeting. If you could rise and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I didn't wait the 3 seconds the man behind the curtain wanted me to. I hope we're okay. If you could call the roll, please.
Alderman Strelchak?
Here.
Alderman Bushy?
Here.
Alderman Meyer?
Here.
Alderman Hansher?
Here.
Alderman Garrow?
Here.
Alderman Schneider?
Here.
Alderman Nervin?
Here.
Mayor Worth?
Here. We have a quorum. We'll proceed. First item on the agenda is personal appearances. At this point, any citizen who wishes to address the council on any matter not on the agenda may do so. If you desire to be heard, you may be heard on something that is on the agenda. You should step forward when that item's up. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the council this evening on the matters on the agenda? Not on the agenda. Hearing none, the next item on the agenda is the public officials reports. I have 3 quick reports. The Public Works Committee will be presented next month with an RFP to look at the safety improvements from the Ozaki Interurban Trail east and maybe a little bit west of it, but that stretch, an RFP for design services or more to give us options and design services so that we can make the crossing of the Interurban Trail safer as well as the intersections that are there. So to the extent you'd like some input on what goes in that RFP, please see staff between now and the Public Works meeting next month. I only remember 2 of my 3 items. We have a meeting on next Tuesday to interview and select or recommend to the council a new alderman for District 6. Today was the deadline for submitting resumes and applications. We had 4 residents of District 6 who submitted a letter and application. Jay Lackritz, Carol Leonard, Richard Miller, and Brian Parrish. So we'll be holding that meeting next month. Just to give you a preview, how this works there's only one of us who haven't been here before, but I think there'll be at least one little wrinkle. There have been a number of residents who have contacted the city asking if they can comment. We have always allowed people to comment basically on any matter on our agenda. So I'm going to accommodate that. But the way this will work is we will have the 4 interviews. Each person the 4 people will be sitting in the other room. 1 person at a time will come into the council chamber. Will be interviewed the way we've done this in the past. We had 8 questions. Each of us will be assigned 1 question. The city administrator will send out a list of questions for you guys to review that we see if they're acceptable between now and then. But we'll ask those 8 questions, hear from the applicants. They'll get a short opening statement, I think, and a short closing statement. And then we'll go through all 4 of them. Public comment will occur after all 4 interviews are done. It's going to be short. It's going to be constructive in favor of candidates and not making comments about other candidates. And then we'll go into our own voting deliberations. We're going to, I believe the way it'll work, we'll have 2 votes. If somebody gains a majority in either the first or second round of voting, that person will be the person recommended to the council. If nobody does, we will drop off the 2 people who got the lowest votes in the second round and then have a vote among the 2 remaining candidates. In the last time, when this occurred a number of years ago, I think 6 years ago, or maybe it was 7, the mayor opted not to break ties. The ordinances actually give the mayor the, right and responsibility to break ties, so I will, if need be, in making that decision between the final two candidates, but I hope the council picks one without me having to vote. And so we will go through that process next Tuesday. Be prepared. We also have both water and sewer meetings that evening, both the budget and a few other issues. So next Tuesday, as short as tonight will be, next Tuesday will be well, there'll be some work. We'll be here for a while. Was there anything else that I had said we talked?
I can't think of the.
All right. The next item is Mr. City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just two quick announcements as we're heading into mid-October here. First, this Saturday will be the city's second electronics and appliance and lawn equipment recycling event that will take place at the Public Works facility between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon this Saturday, October 19th. A full list of all eligible items that can be recycled is available on the city website at cityofmequon.com. And the second announcement is this coming October 27th, trick-or-treating will be taking place in Mequon's on a citywide basis between the hours of 4 and 7 p.m. Sunday, October 27th. That does not preclude trick-or-treating from occurring on Halloween, which is October 31st, within individual neighborhoods and subdivisions.
Thank you. Next item is the consent agenda. We have the council minutes of September, the architectural board minutes of August, the police and fire commission meeting minutes of August, the economic development board minutes of August, the finance personnel committee minutes of August, park and open space board minutes of August, public safety of August, welfare of August, public works of August. Do we have a motion on the, we also have two resolutions. A resolution approving a certified survey map for the dedication of the public right-of-way along North Granville Road and West Hawthorne Road. This was recommended by the Planning Commission on September 9. And a resolution authorizing the vacation of public road right-of-way for the property located at 10961 North Wauwatosa Road and terminating at Outlot 3 of Knightsbridge Estates. This was also recommended by the Planning Commission on September 9.
Moved approval, and you also have the ordinance?
I always do those separately because they're not really something for us to vote on. We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Anybody want to remove anything from the list and have it publicly, separately addressed? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All of those matters are passed or accepted. We also have one first reading. That's an ordinance amending Chapter 58 of the zoning code to rezone the property located at the southwest corner of North Birchwood Lane and Hemlock Lane from 5-acre zoning to 2.5-acre zoning to amend the land use plan map. Similarly, this was recommended by the Planning Commission on September 9th. This is a first reading, will be taken up at the next council meeting. We don't have any ordinances tonight. We have a number of resolutions. The first resolution is Resolution 3649. It's to award a contract for replacement of a holding tank at Rotary Park to Hilgert and Sons of Grafton in the amount of $33,215. It was recommended by the Park and Open Space Board on October 2. What did Public Works Committee do tonight with this item? Public Works Chair?
As approved, 3-0.
Okay, so it's recommended to the council. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion. Yes.
Sorry, I just want to correct one
Director
detail. At the Public Works Committee, they otherwise asked about the material of the tank. It's concrete. So I just
It is
wanted to
concrete?
correct
Okay.
what I otherwise said. So,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? If not, please call the roll.
Alderman Bushy?
Aye.
Alderman Meyer?
Aye.
Alderman Hancher?
Aye.
Alderman Garrow?
Aye.
Alderman Schneider?
Aye.
Alderman Nervin?
Aye.
Alderman Strolchak?
Aye.
The next item is Resolution 3651, a resolution approving a transfer of funds within the Sanitary Sewer Utility District's capital budget for 2019. The Sewer Utility District Commission just recommended that. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'm assuming there's no further discussion. Please call the roll.
Alderman Meyer?
Aye.
Alderman Hancher?
Aye.
Alderman Garrow?
Aye.
Alderman Schneider?
Aye.
Alderman Nervin?
Aye.
Alderman Strolchak?
Aye.
Bushy?
Aye.
That resolution passes. I'm not going to ask for discussion or comment on any of these, but if anybody wants it, speak up as when we hit your items, since we already discussed all of them. The next is Resolution 3652. It's to award a contract for the 2019 sanitary sewer rehab lining project to Vizu Sewer of Pewaukee in the amount of $422,667. This was recommended by the Sewer Utility District Commission. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Alderman Hancher,
Aye.
Alderman Garrow,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nervin,
Aye.
Alderman Strolchek,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
And that item passes. Resolution 3653, a resolution approving the award of a contract for sanitary sewer rehab inspection services to Kapoor and Associates of Milwaukee in the amount of $52,010. The Sewer Utility District Commission recommended approval. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Alderman Garrow,
Aye.
Alderman Schneider,
Aye.
Alderman Nervin,
Aye.
Alderman Strolchek,
Aye.
Alderman Bushy,
Aye.
Alderman Meyer,
Aye.
Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
And that resolution is passed. Resolution 3654, we have a denial of a resolution acknowledging participation in the Metropolitan Milwaukee Sewerage District Green Infrastructure Program for fiscal year 2020. Do we have a motion? That was the Sewer Utility District Commission recommended denial. Do we have a motion to recommend denial at this body?
Motion to recommend denial.
Or no, motion to deny, sorry, not
Motion to
recommend.
deny.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's denied.
Mayor,
Yes.
question before you. On ordinance, we didn't talk about it all, but on this first reading on ordinance 2019-1555, I got a call from one of my residents down on Bonnewell, and he read the newspaper on this, and it said that it was on the southwest corner of Bonnewell and Hemlock. The notification in the newspaper was wrong on it. And then I watched the planning commission and I read the little piece here on this. And I noticed in the planning commission that Alderman Strelchek added an amendment to this, which is not mentioned at all in our first reading. So I think maybe this is not proper notification, and I think that the ordinance itself is incomplete.
Well, actually, the ordinance can be amended even after this, prior to the second reading. So this is simply bringing forward to the public the fact that there is an ordinance. I don't know, we'll check on the publication and make a determination before the next meeting whether that's defective publication. So I'm going to.
The city attorney doesn't know that? What is it?
I concur with what the mayor just said. We will obviously look at the publication to make sure it was correct. And if it wasn't, then we'll act accordingly.
Right.
Obviously, not having seen the publication, I can't opine specifically on it, so.
I didn't see it either, but one of my residents called me up and said, what the heck's going on? What are they doing down on Bonnewell? And I don't know anything about it, so.
Maybe it's a typo in my update rather than in the publication too.
He said he
We
got
need
it
to
from
check.
the news
Okay.
graphic, so,
Well, we'll look.
all right.
There's no specified unfinished business, no presentation of petitions, memorials, remonstrances, or communications, no miscellaneous new business. We have one final item. We have a potential closed session. It's a discussion concerning filling the finance director position. The common council may convene into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 1985 1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, and then may reconvene into open session to take such action as deemed appropriate. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I'd move to go into closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'm not
Well,
going to second it. I don't,
Well, there was a second, then we can have discussion. So there's a motion and a second. Alderman Garrow?
maybe the city attorney can explain, or maybe even the mayor can explain why we can't do this in open session.
I think we need to limit what we talk about in closed session to an evaluation of the applications we've received, which would not be appropriate in open session. and make a determination whether, and I think the question is going to be whether we're going to extend the search beyond the applications we've received. An evaluation of applications is something, that's a review of individuals, which is the most pertinent and normal use of that in negotiation, use of closed session. If we were discussing whether or not, what search firm to hire or anything else, that certainly would need to be an open session, and I'd be opposed to a closed session.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, in short, the rule of thumb we always use is that you can go into closed session to talk about persons, not positions. So if we were going to just talk about the finance director in general, like we're going to give the position a raise, for example, that would be a public session type item. Where we are talking about a particular individual or individuals in this case, that is a permitted closed session purpose.
All right. Any other discussion? If you could call the roll, please.
Alderman Urban.
Aye.
Alderman Strolchek.
Aye.
Alderman Bushy.
Aye.
Alderman Meyer.
Aye.
Alderman Hancher.
Aye.
Alderman Garrow.
Aye.
Alderman Schneider.
Aye.
And for going into closed session, I think I get to vote also, so I'm going to vote aye.
Are we coming back?
What's that?
Are we coming back out?
I don't
Well, we're
foresee
not gonna
that
be
we
locked
have
in.
anything to approve. If there's something to approve that, based on what we discussed, that'll come to finance personnel at the next finance personnel meeting.
Thank you for the clarity.
We won't be coming back into session, so you don't need to continue to tape, and we will move to adjourn after our closed session.